ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैता गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृन्द हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna everybody. Hare Krishna. Welcome you all. Today's fourth chapter, right? Fourth chapter. Yoga of knowledge. Can we all unmute and chant one mantra, one Hare Krishna Mahamantra?
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare. All of you, if you can't unmute, then you can chant in your mind. But otherwise, please do unmute and chant once. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna.
What do you want now?
Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
What do
Hare
you want?
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare Hare.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Bol. Thank you all. So fourth chapter. So can anybody tell me what we learned in the third chapter? What was third chapter all about? What is the name of the third chapter? Who knows?
Karma Yoga.
Karma Yoga. Hari Bol. And what is one key takeaway from Karma Yoga chapter, third chapter? What did we learn?
Renunciation or Nishkama.
Nishkama Karma Yoga. Hari Bol.
Yeah.
What is Nishkama Karma Yoga?
Work as a sacrifice for Vishnu.
Work as a sacrifice for Vishnu. Yes.
Selfless sacrifice.
Selfless sacrifice.
Selfless.
Selfless sacrifice. Yes. Nishkama, right? Work as a sacrifice for Vishnu. Yes, Bishwas Prabhu.
Yeah, doing action without any expectation of result.
Yeah. Rather, instead of expecting some result, rather dedicating that result to the Lord. Right? So that is Nishkama Karma Yoga. Yes?
Conquering lust.
Conquering lust. Hari Bol. So how do you conquer lust?
By changing lust to love.
What is love and what is lust?
And then devotion and devotion, duties. What else was there? I'll just check.
So changing lust from love. How do you change lust from love? Like you all said, when you want something out of what you're doing, that is lust. What is there for me, right? And when you forget that, what I'm going to gain, just completely leaving what you are going to gain and completely focusing on what Krishna is going to gain. How do I make Krishna happy with whatever I'm doing? That is love, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that is how you conquer lust from love. Conquer lust and convert it into love. Okay, very nice. So that is all about karma, right? Karma, when you do something, that is karma and activity, but you have to face the reaction. Okay, it's even modern science has proved it. When you do some action, you will have to face the reaction, right? But what we are doing is changing karma to akarma, right? What we are doing is, because we are doing the karma for the Lord, we are not going to face the reaction, because we are not going to generate any reaction. You doing that, because we are not doing karma, we are doing akarma, right? So that is the only difference, and that makes all the difference actually, right? Mm, yeah. Now today's chapter is Jnana Yoga, or Yoga of Knowledge. Although the name of the chapter is Jnana Yoga, it comes under Karma Yoga division. There are three categories we just learned, right? Last class. So first 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita is Karma Yoga, right? So till 6th chapter, even if the names of the chapters are Jnana Yoga and things like that, they still fall under Karma Yoga category. And then the next middle 6 chapters are Bhakti Yoga, and the last 6 chapters are Jnana Yoga. Okay, that's actual Jnana Yoga. So this is also coming under Karma Yoga, because Krishna talks more about karma even in this chapter. Okay, so what are we going to learn in this chapter is that we are learning Bhagavad Gita. So let's learn a little bit of history about the Bhagavad Gita, right? So Bhagavad Gita, what we know is, who is reciting Bhagavad Gita to whom? Anybody knows? I mean, not reciting. Who is speaking Bhagavad Gita to whom? Yes?
Krishna to Arjuna.
To Arjuna.
Krishna to Arjuna, right? So Krishna is speaking
Yeah.
Gita to Arjuna. That's all we know, right? There's something else that we do not know. That is something interesting, right? That is history of Bhagavad Gita, right? Shri Bhagavanu Vacha imam vivasvata yogam proktavanaham avyayam vivasvan manave praha manur ikshvakave abhravit. So you can see in this picture, right? So Bhagavad Gita was initially spoken by Krishna to Vivasvan. Vivasvan is the sun god. The name of the sun god is Vivasvan, right? The sun we see in the sky is not just a star or some non-living entity. It's a devata, right? He's a devata. He has a name. It's a planet, actually. It's not a star, right? It's a huge planet just like Earth, right? The Shastras, the Vedas or the scriptures give us a wonderful idea. Without traveling to that particular planet, you just sitting here, you can understand what is happening in that planet, how that planet is, everything. See, that's why scriptures are very, very powerful. You can get a lot of knowledge, right? So that name of the sun god is Vivasvan. Okay, so Krishna instructed Bhagavad Gita actually to him first, just before instructing it to Arjuna. Krishna actually instructed Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says, I instructed this imperishable science of yoga to the sun god named Vivasvan. Then Vivasvan further instructed it to um, Ikshvaku. Sorry, Manu, right? Manu is, so sun god is Vivasvan, right? And who is Manu? Manu is the for all the human beings, right? He is like a god. We all descend from Manu. Manu is like an incarnation of the Lord. He is an incarnation of the Lord, and all the human beings are created or they are generated by Manu, right? So he is more like a leader of all the mankind. Okay, so Vivasvan instructed it to Manu. Manu is the disciple of Vivasvan. Now, from Manu, it was instructed to Ikshvaku, right? Ikshvaku is another king. We all know, right? Lord Ram also comes from Ikshvaku's, dynasty, right? So, this was later on instructed to Ikshvaku. Okay, so that is how it is. So, this is the disciplic succession. Now, after Bhagavad Gita reached Ikshvaku, right? You can see from Manu it reached Ikshvaku. Ikshvaku delivered Bhagavad Gita to all the general public. Okay, like us. Okay. Now, when general public received Bhagavad Gita, what happened? Like Chinese whisper game, right? From one mouth to another mouth, from one ear to another ear, Bhagavad Gita went. It just spread everywhere, and the people just adding things to it, right? Just added things. Yeah, Manu is son of Brahma only, because Brahma is who creates the human beings, right? Yeah. So people started adding, deleting, they just added extra masala to Bhagavad Gita, and they started circulating it amongst themselves. Like today also, we can experience some, we gossip or say something has happened, right? When something actually has happened, but by the time it reaches all the general public and by the time it spreads, the whatever had happened would have taken a different forms altogether, right? So same way happened with Bhagavad Gita. The real original essence of Bhagavad Gita was completely gone. It was lost. People just manufactured their own theories of Bhagavad Gita and they started spreading it. That's how today we had so many versions of Bhagavad Gita, and ultimately, why is this not moving? One second. Yeah, so many versions are available. That's why so many versions of Bhagavad Gita is available today, and nobody knows which is the right version, right? You just go in the market and just ask for a Bhagavad Gita in a shop. Okay, they will show you like around 5 to 6 varieties of Bhagavad Gita selling in their shop. Okay, and you can just read and see which version makes sense to you. None of them make sense, right? One second. So that's why Bhagavad Gita got contaminated. Okay, that's how Bhagavad Gita got contaminated. The original science was lost. That's why Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, after the shloka, he says, because there was a break in the disciplic succession, right? From Vivaswan, I mean, when it passed to Manu, and from Manu, when it passed to Ikshvaku, there was no break in the chain anywhere. And the right knowledge, Vivaswan passed as what he heard from Krishna, the same thing he passed on to his disciple. And he passed on the same thing to further his disciple, right? And only afterwards there was a mass, circulation, and that's how the original essence was lost, right? So what happened now? There is a break in the disciplic succession, and the science as it is was lost, right? Evam parampara praptam evam rajarshayo vibhu sakalenah mahata yogo nashta parantapa, yogo nashta. So there was a loss in the Bhagavad Gita was completely lost. Okay, now so Krishna again had to come back and and teach this Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. That's why Krishna came back again and started instructing it to Arjuna. Okay, that's the whole background story of Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so now we have there's something called, say, okay, fine, stay, you're studying MBBS. Okay, we have lots of universities, right? It's different. We have abroad, say London University, and India we have, say, Delhi University, and then you say some Manipal University. Different universities, but it is the same science, same MBBS, same science, right? Same biology, same everything that you will be studying under different universities, right? You're not learning anything. No university teaches the wrong thing, right? All of them teach the right things, just at different universities. Same way, Krishna narrated or taught this science, Vedic knowledge to Brahma. He personally taught it to Brahma, and then he also personally taught it to Lakshmi, then he personally taught it to Shiva and the 4 Kumaras, right? So 4 universities we have. These are the 4 standard sampradayas, they are called, right? Or example, you can relate it to universities. Okay. So Brahma further expanded the knowledge, right? You can see in the picture, Krishna taught it to Brahma. Brahma further expanded and taught it to Narada. Narada gave it to Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Bhaktivinoda Thakur gave it to, Narada gave it to Vyasadev. Vyasadev gave it to Shukadev Goswami. Shukadev Goswami gave it to Suta Goswami. Suta Goswami gave it to Shanaka Muni. Right? Just passes on, passes on, passes on, passes on. And finally, it reaches Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Okay? Jagannath Das Babaji teaches it to Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Bhaktivinoda Thakur teaches it to Gaur Kishore Das Babaji. Gaur Kishore Das Babaji teaches it to Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, who is Prabhupada's guru. He teaches it to Prabhupada, and Prabhupada is teaching us teaching it to all of us, right, in the form of his books. So we belong to Brahma's line of, you can see, right, line. Where is Prabhupada belonging to? Brahma. So we belong to Brahma Sampradaya. Okay. And one of the most predominant Acharya who comes in the line of Brahma's disciplic succession is Madhvacharya. Okay, today is Madhvacharya's disappearance day, right? I'm so glad to, see how Krishna arranges. We are talking about Madhvacharya today, and today is Madhvacharya's disappearance day, right? And he is one of the most prominent Acharya in the disciplic succession of Brahma. That's why the Sampradaya later got, the name was changed to Brahma Madhva Sampradaya. Initially it was Brahma Sampradaya, then it became Brahma Madhva Sampradaya. Now, latest Acharya was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Krishna himself came down in the same disciplic succession, and he became one of the most prominent Acharya, right? That's why the name again changed. What did it become? Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. Okay, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is from Gauda Desh, right? Bengal, West Bengal, right? So Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. So when somebody asks you, okay, you're learning Gita, which Sampradaya do you belong to, or which university do you belong to? You need to say Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. Okay. So similarly, there are other students also, right? Lakshmi learned, Shiva learned, Kumaras learned, right? So they also started propagating the science to their students. And one of the main, so Lakshmi's Sampradaya was called as Sri Sampradaya. Okay. And Ramanujacharya is one of the most prominent Acharya. Okay. And then Shiva called it Rudra Sampradaya. And Vishnu Swami became one of the most prominent Acharya. And Kumaras also started, right? So it's called Kumara Sampradaya, and Nimmarka Acharya became the most prominent Acharya in that line, respective line of disciplic succession. Okay, so this way, why is this arrangement needed? It's very, very needed. I told you in the first class, when you're reading Gita or whatever it is, always check who is your guru, right? And who is that guru's guru? Which line of disciplic succession do you belong to? Otherwise, what happens? There will be a break in the disciplic succession, like Chinese whisper. You will not get the right knowledge. You will learn the wrong thing. Who wants to learn the wrong thing? Everybody wants right knowledge, right? So that's why the disciplic succession shouldn't be broken anywhere. That's very important, right? That's very important. You need to check that the history, and ultimately wherever you are or wherever your guru is, ultimately it should tie back to Krishna. Krishna should be the Adi Guru, right? Jagat Guru. So that is how you need to verify. So that is the reason Krishna is saying evam parampara praptam, right? Praptam. You need to learn any science for that matter from a qualified guru, and he should have learnt it from his qualified guru, right? And that guru should have learnt it from his guru, and that guru ultimately, all the gurus should ultimately have Krishna as the guru. The first guru should have Krishna as his guru, right? That's very important. Okay, and now from this we understand Krishna is maintaining the different sampradayas, right? Even today we have all these sampradayas functioning, right? So Sri Sampradaya is very, very prominent in Tamil Nadu and especially South India, Andhra Pradesh and everything, right? Yeah, now the question is, we also would have got this question. Now Krishna is saying, I recited or I educated Vivaswan, sun god, about this Bhagavad Gita years ago, millions of years ago. Right? That's what he says in the first shloka of the chapter. Now Arjuna is confused. He's like, what? You're of my age. You're my contemporary. Right? We grew together. We played together. Right? You're just like my friend. How can you teach millions of years ago to someone? I was not even alive. If I'm not alive, if I was not born, how can you be born at that time? Right? Can anybody answer this question? Who knows?
Because he's taken many births.
Who?
Lord Krishna.
Hmm.
I think we people, Arjuna and all the
Hmm.
people have taken many births. So they don't remember, whereas the Lord, he remembers everything.
I will, exactly. So, second chapter we discussed, right? The body dies and the soul goes and takes another body, and that's called death and transmigration, rebirth, right? So we people in general, as Mataji said, we've taken multiple rebirths like that, multiple janmas and janmas and janmas. So when we get this janma, we don't remember what's happening in our previous janmas. So many janmas we would have got. This is not our first janma, but we don't remember anything. We think, okay, there's a fresh life. This is the only one life we have. That's what we think, because Krishna makes us forget it, right? But Krishna, being the Lord himself, he will not forget, right? So how many people like us, Krishna has seen so many millions of people. He would have educated so many millions of people, right? But Krishna comes in the form of Krishna only, right? Krishna is God. He comes as God. He doesn't have to take rebirth. He doesn't have to take any birth. So because he doesn't take any birth, he doesn't forget what has happened in the past. But because we have to take rebirth, we forget what is happening in the past. So Krishna says, clarifies Arjuna later on. We will see that. But let's see the timeline. Okay. So this is very interesting. Okay, I think most of you know. So life of Brahma. Okay, life of Brahma is 311 trillion years. 311 trillion years is 311 trillion earthly years. Okay, 311 trillion years on earth is equivalent to 100 years of Brahma. Brahma lives for 100 years. Okay, so now in that 36,000 years is like one day of Brahma, right? There are 36,000 days for Brahma, and they are called how do I explain this? Okay, see, one day of Brahma is called one kalpa, and one night of Brahma is called one kalpa. Okay, two kalpas make one day of Brahma, and that one kalpa is 36,000 years on earth calculation. Okay, one kalpa or 12 hours. Say Brahma lives for 24, Brahma's day is 24 hours. 24 hours in Brahma Loka is 12 hours is 36,000 years on earth. Can you imagine? So 36,000 into 2 will make one day, 24 hours for Brahma, right? That's how long he lives. Can you imagine? And during the creation, during the day he creates, during the night when Brahma takes rest, right? In the night he sleeps. In the night there is no creation. What happens then? Dissolution happens. That's why these pralayas and other things we have, no? Some destruction happened somewhere, right? The entire planet just got devastated, right? Entire continent got devastated. Why does all that happen? It is actually the night for Brahma. So that time partial devastation happens, or partial destruction of the entire material creation happens. And when Brahma dies, right, Brahma also dies. Okay, he is also just like us in the material body. So after 100 years Brahma dies. That time complete destruction of the material universe takes place. Okay, complete destruction. So in the night of Brahma, partial destruction happens. In the when Brahma's lifespan is over, complete destruction happens. Okay, so now during so I told you, until morning to night, right? From morning to night before he sleeps, creation happens. That is only 12 hours. Rest 12 hours when he sleeps, devastation happens. Okay, so that's partial. It's called partial. Okay, now this in this one kalpa, right? So as far as now, right? Right now, or to this date, Brahma has passed 50 years of his age. Only 50 years more is remaining. That's why Brahma, if you see wherever you see any photograph, Brahma has gray hair, gray beard, and all. Why? Because he's 50 years old. He's old now, right? And now, uh, one second, let me go back to this. There's some issue with sharing the screen. Give me a moment. Let me fix this. Okay, Hare Krishna. I think there's some issue. Let me see how it goes. So now we were talking about one kalpa, right? That is one day of Brahma, and two kalpas make one complete 24 hours of Brahma, right? In that one kalpa is 4.32 billion years of Earth, right? And in that years, 14 manvantaras plus 15 sandhyas take place, right? So one sandhya is a juncture, okay? It's a juncture of 1.728 million years, okay? And in that juncture, okay, in the remaining, you can see the time slot, right? Sandhya is actually the margin. You can consider it to be the margin. In the night and in the day together, we'll have two sandhyas, right? And in middle portion is the manvantara. That is, we have 14 manvantaras in one kalpa, right? In one kalpa, there are 14 manvantaras. And manvantara is what we just saw, Manu. Every Manu, incarnates in one manvantara, right? So we have 14 manvantaras, so 14 Manus are there, right? 14 Manus are there. Now, each manvantara lasts for 71 Divya Yugas. It's written here, you can see, right? And these 71 Divya Yugas is what? 306.72 million earthly years, earth calculation. And one Divya Yuga is 4.32 million years as per earth. That consists of 4 yugas, right? 4 yugas. That is, what are the 4 yugas? Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Kali Yuga. Right? Together, right? All the 4 yugas put together is called one Divya Yuga, right? So, yeah, so one Divya Yuga is divided into 4 yugas. That is, Satya Yuga takes the largest place, right? It is the longest, 1.728 million years. And then Treta Yuga is a little shorter, 1.296 million years. Dwapar Yuga lasts for 864,000 years. And Kali Yuga lasts for 4,32,000 years. So Dwapar Yuga, if you see the calculation, it's just getting doubled. Double of Kali Yuga is Dwapar Yuga, right? And double of Dwapar Yuga is Treta Yuga. Double of Treta Yuga is Satya Yuga, right? And all these 4 yugas put together is one Divya Yuga. And 71 such Divya Yugas put together is one Manvantara. And 14 such Manvantaras put together is one Kalpa. And 2 such Kalpas equals one complete day, day and night of Brahma. And he lives for 311 trillion years. Can you imagine? So Brahma has passed exactly half of his lifespan, 50 years now. 6 manvantaras are over. Right now, 7th manvantara is happening. Right? So half, everything half. 27 cycles of 4 yugas are over. That means 4 yugas is one Divya Yuga, right? So 27 cycles of Divya Yugas are over. And Satya, Treta and Dwapar Yuga is over. We are in Kali Yuga right now. And how many years of Kali Yuga is left? Right? So, 5,121 years of Kali Yuga have passed and exactly half of it is remaining. Right? So, this 5,121 years of Kali Yuga is still left. Okay? And life of Brahma, I don't even know how to calculate this. Okay? So, this is the time or time arrangement, right? So there are things which are completely out of our reach. We cannot even understand logically, right? Logically also we can't understand. I mean, we can't even read these figures, right? So so what we learn from this is we cannot measure the Lord's potency, right? Just with our tiny limited brains. Applying material world's logic, you cannot understand something which is beyond material world, right? This is something I wanted to make it very clear. Okay, now, yeah, so accepting that before the birth of Manu, the Gita was spoken by the Lord to his disciple, the sun god Vivaswan, even before Manu was born. That means even before that particular Manvantara started, Krishna spoke to Vivaswan about this Bhagavad Gita. So when did he speak? 120 million years ago. He spoke Bhagavad Gita to Vivaswan. 120 million years. That time Arjuna was not even born, right? But Arjuna was present in some other birth, right? He had taken some other birth, in some other kind of birth. He was there, he was present, but he was not present as Arjuna. That's why when he took rebirth as Arjuna, he's forgotten all this, right? He's forgotten all this. So now, so in Mahabharata Shanti Parva, it's given that we can trace out the history of the Gita as follows. I think this is for your knowledge. Rather, I'll share this slide with you, right? So Gita came to earth 2 million years ago, as per what we just discussed, 2 million years ago. Okay. And Krishna told Arjuna about the Gita just 5,000 years ago. Just 5,000 years ago, because it was discussed at the end of Dwapar Yuga. Okay. And this is again for your summary. 1 day of Brahma is, I don't even know how to read these figures. You can read it, right? 1 minute of Brahma, 1 second of Brahma. Okay. Now, how does Krishna appear? Okay, now that we know that Krishna doesn't take birth, doesn't take rebirth, doesn't have any death or anything like that, then how does Krishna even take birth? How does Krishna come to this world? Right? How does Krishna come to this world? If Krishna comes to this world, then it's called birth, right? We have Devaki, Vasudeva as his parents and all that, right? But now we understood Krishna doesn't take birth. Then how? What is it called then? When Krishna comes to this earth, what is it even called? Anybody knows the answer? Or anybody wants to add anything here?
He appears.
He appears. Okay, what does appearing mean?
Avatara.
Avatara, descending.
Vishwarupa.
Descending, avatara or incarnation, right? Incarnation means appearing. That's it. Descending from his Goloka, he just descends and just appears on this earth. He doesn't take birth the way we take birth. So what is the difference? Okay, let's come to that. Ajo api san avyayatma bhutanam ishvaro api san prakritim swamadhishtaya sambhavami atmamayaya. Although I'm unborn and my transcendental body never deteriorates, although I am the Lord of all sentient beings, I still appear every millennium in my original transcendental form. Right? So this is what Krishna is teaching us. He is unborn. He is Aja. Aja means he cannot be born. If he is not born, that means he will never die. No birth, no death. Anadiradir Govinda. Sarvakarana Karanam. Right? So my transcendental body never deteriorates because he doesn't have a body like ours. Our body deteriorates. We get diseased, we get aged, right? And then we die, right? If you see an old person, say 80 years, 90 years old, the skin will be sagging, it will be wrinkling, right? You can see all that, right? But our body is so nice, no wrinkles, nothing. But as it ages, that will it'll change, right? But for Krishna, no, right? For Krishna, it never deteriorates. Okay, and although I still appear millennium after millennium. Although he's the Lord of Goloka, Vaikunta, he still comes to earth and lives with us like another person, like just like another person on earth, right? Why? To re-establish dharma. We will come to that, right? But whenever he comes to earth, he comes in his original transcendental body. That is something we need to understand. He came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu means he came in the devotee form, right? Although he came in a devotee form, he came in his original transcendental body. That means he has spiritual body, right? If you go poke with some pin, blood will not come. Okay, his body is transcendental. It's not made of skin. It's not made of 5 elements, panchabhutas. It's not made of all that, right? So how was Krishna even born then? Right? How was Krishna even born? Anybody knows? If he's not taking birth like us, then how was he born? Or how did he appear? Yeah? Yeah, please fill the attendance.
I manifest myself through my own yoga maya, divine, keeping my nature under control.
Atma Maya, yeah. Correct. Okay.
Yeah.
So how does he manifest? That's what my question is. How did he manifest? Devaki was carrying. She had Krishna, a baby in her womb, right? Then what was she carrying then?
From the heart of Vasudeva, he was transferred to the heart of Devaki.
Hari Bol, exactly. So what happened? Krishna came and gave his darshan to Vasudeva first when he was sleeping in the night. Okay. Now, when he got the darshan of Krishna, that Krishna went and sat, or manifested himself, or sat in the heart of Vasudeva. Okay. That is called Diksha actually. Right. So when Krishna comes into your heart, that is only called Diksha process. Right. And now from the heart of Vasudeva, Krishna was transferred to the mind of Devaki. Got it? So how do you what did we learn from mind of Vasudev? Right? Vasudev took darshan. So from the mind of Vasudev, Krishna got into the heart of Vasudev, and from the heart of Vasudev, Krishna got transferred to the mind of Devaki. From the mind of Devaki, Krishna got transferred to the womb of Devaki. Right? And from womb of Devaki, Krishna appeared. He just appeared. Right? He didn't take birth like how we all take birth. Right? He just appeared from the womb of Devaki in right in front of them. Right? You can see. And then he showed his original form, the four-handed Mahavishnu form, because they did not know who is this little child. Right? Krishna is a very confidential form. Not everybody knows about Krishna. So when he has to introduce himself to the outside world, he introduces himself as Vishnu. Okay. So he introduced himself as Vishnu, and then they requested, "Oh my lord, if you have these four hands and all this, Kamsa will certainly kill you off. I mean, he will get agitated. Nothing can happen. Nothing can work out. So you better take a small baby form where you cannot be identified at all." Upon their request, then Krishna became a small baby. You can see here, right? So this is how it happened, right? So this is called appearance of the Lord, right? So why does he appear? I mean, okay, fine. When does he appear? Now we all know Krishna appears. Now when does he appear? Okay. So he says, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuttanam dharmasya tadatmanam srajamyaham. So whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious practice, when adharma predominates dharma, right? When a wrong dominates over the right, that's when Krishna appears. Why? To re-establish the religion. To, first of all, that's the main reason why he appears. Okay? Krishna says over here, right? Predominant rise of irreligion. When that happens, at that time I descend myself. And then what does he say? Why does he appear? Now the question is why, right? So paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya ch dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Paritranaya sadhunam. Main reason is when adharma is predominating, what happens? All the good people will start suffering, right? Because bad people will start torturing them. So the main reason why he appears is paritranaya sadhunam, to deliver the pious people or to protect the pious people. Vinashaya dushkritam. In order to protect the pious people, he has to destroy the miscreants. He doesn't primarily appear to destroy or punish the miscreants. He primarily appears to deliver the pious or protect the pious people. In that process, he destroys or punishes the miscreants. Right? Vinashaya dushkrita. Then to re-establish the principles of religion, dharpa samsthapanarthaya, sambhavami yuge yuga, millennium after millennium, I descend, Krishna says. Right? This is the reason. Okay. Now we understood how he appears. Right? What is the meaning of birth of Krishna or incarnation of Krishna? Now what is the benefit? Okay, fine, he appears. What am I going to gain from it? Right? So Krishna explains that also, because many of us have this question. Okay, fine, he appears, he does all that. Why should I know all this? What am I going to gain? We just discussed yesterday. What is in there for me? Right? So Krishna says you will be benefiting immensely from it just by knowing how he appears. Can you imagine? Just by knowing it. What is that benefit? Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo vetti tattvataha tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti so Arjuna. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world. Can you imagine? He does not have to take birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna. Can you imagine? Just by knowing, you don't even have to do anything. Just hear the story of Krishna. That's it. Just by hearing the story, the transcendental pastimes of the Lord, the name of the Lord, right? Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela, right? First step is Nama, Harinam, the name of the Lord, right? That is why we need to chant. Anybody tried chanting yesterday? We had a demo here in class, right? Who tried or who chanted? One round, just one round at least. How many of you did?
I did this
Hari
morning.
bol. Hari bol.
Hari
Very-
bol.
Raise your hands. How many of you did? Or is it only one person?
I did, yeah.
Ah, nice. How did you feel after chanting? What was your experience? Very nice. 2 rounds. Hari bol. Rajdeep Prabhu. So how did you feel after chanting? What was it? Krishna trance. Okay, nice. Right? So when you got but what good but longer than 6 minutes. Depends on our pronunciation. Yeah, very nice. So you'll get used to it, right? When you continue to chant, right? Then your time limit also will reduce and come to that standard 6 to 7 minutes or 5 to 6 minutes. For some people it is 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 7 minutes comes at that standard time. Okay, very nice. So that is the benefit, right, of knowing Krishna. We are not going to come back to this material world. What is material world? Dukkhalayam ashashvatam. Krishna explains, right? So we don't have to come back to this material world. Dukkhalayam means place full of miseries, and ashashvatam is it's temporary. What are we going to do coming here? We are going to earn, say you're earning lakhs, crores, whatever, millions, billions, right? And you're building so many houses, so many properties you have. But one day you should die. Death is inevitable, right? Death is not going to wait for anybody. Death is not going to leave anybody, right? And what are you going to do with your property? Are you going to enjoy? Are you going to take it all with you after your death? No, right? Again, you have to take rebirth and come to this world based on our karma. There's no guarantee we will get a human form of life. There's no guarantee that we will get a millennials life, right? No guarantee of human form of life only. We can take birth as a dog, as an ant, as a cock, right? Hen, or a bull, or whatever, cat, right? What's the guarantee? Or even as a microorganism based on our karma, right? So that's why Krishna says, come, just come out of all this, right? Bhagavad Gita teaches you, see, material world, whatever you're studying, teaches you how to get entangled and come back to this material world. Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam teaches you how to get out of this material world and enjoy your eternal life, right? So that's what Krishna is saying. Nama, karma, guna, Nama, rupa, guna, leela. These are the stages. First, to think about the Lord, we need to know the name of the Lord. That's why we need to chant, right? Get used to the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. When you get used to that, then you can take the next step and go understand the guna of the Lord. By reading Srimad Bhagavatam, you'll be understanding the rupa and guna, right? The form of the Lord by going to the temple, by seeing the picture, right? When you start offering deity worship and all that, you will start understanding the rupa, such beautiful form of the Lord. Then when you read Srimad Bhagavatam, you will understand the guna, the transcendental qualities of the Lord. How wonderful is he, right? Putana, all of you know Putana, right? Putana came to feed him poisoned milk. What did Krishna do? Krishna killed her, right? That's what we all know. But when you start reading Srimad Bhagavatam, we will understand Krishna never killed her, right? What did Radha Krishna, what did he do? Krishna delivered her, took her after, Krishna, delivered her, as in killed her, as in she was separated from her body, right? The soul was separated from the body, and Krishna took the soul to Goloka Vrindavan and gave her the position of Yashoda Mata. When somebody comes and gives you poison, what will you do? Will you treat her as your mother? You will, even for janmas and janmas, you will have revenge against that person. Oh, this person gave me poison. What did Krishna do? Gave such a person a position of a mother. Where? In Goloka, where it's not material, where there is no miseries. Can you imagine who does that? That is Krishna, right? That is the guna of Krishna. So all this we will understand how merciful he is, what he's even, right? We will understand as we go progress. The first step is chanting. When you chant and chant, automatically Krishna will show you the way, right? So how many, has anybody in history able to understand Krishna? So now the question is, we just learned, right? That's the quality of the Lord, right? So now, um, how to understand his real qualities. So to outside eyes, the Leela looks very different, right? But as devotees, when you read it from Srimad Bhagavatam or hear it from a devotee, a realized soul, internally the Leela is very, very different, right? Example is Putana Leela. I never knew. Putana was given a place like a mother, treated as a mother, right? Anybody who hears this for the first time will actually start crying, right? So, who are those set of people who's understood Krishna as he is, and who can understand Krishna as he is, right? So Krishna says, "Vitaragabhaya krodha manmana mamupashritaha bahavo jnana tapasa puta madbhavamagataha." Being freed from attachment, fear, and anger, being fully absorbed in me and taking refuge in me, many persons in the past became purified by knowledge of me, and thus they all attained transcendental love for me. So it's not impossible. It's not impossible. We are just getting scared to even wet our feet. If we hesitate to even wet our feet, when are you going to start? Somewhere we have to start, right? So start. This is the right point of starting. How do you start? One round of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. That's it. It's not difficult. Just one round of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and you are there, right? So that's where we begin. So how so this way many persons in the past have become purified by knowledge of Krishna, and they have attained the transcendental love for Krishna, Krishna prema, right? For that we have qualifications. What are the qualifications? You need to be free from attachment. Attachment to your money, attachment to your position, right? Attachment to your properties, attachment to your family, right? Attachment to everything. You need to be free from attachment to all these material things, and fear of what is going to happen next, and free from anger. Okay. Anger as in material anger. Okay, if somebody is scolding God, blaspheming Vaishnava, then you have to get angry. If somebody is not chanting properly, then you have to get angry. Okay, if somebody is not worshipping someone properly, the deity properly, then you have to get angry, right? But you need to be free from material anger. When somebody does something to you, then you have to tolerate. Okay, that is material anger. Then being fully absorbed in me, always thinking, as in always chanting the holy name of the Lord. That's the first step, right? We have not reached the stage where we can understand the Rupa, Guna, Leela of the Lord. We are still in Nama stage. So just chant the holy name of the Lord. And if you do that, and absorb in me completely. How to get absorbed in Krishna completely? Yesterday's class we learned. Whatever duty you're doing, do it for the Lord. Then entire day becomes devotion service only. Even going to office, sitting in front of the computer also becomes devotional service. Because you're earning for Krishna. Using that salary, little of your salary, you're doing something for Krishna. Right? So, your entire day becomes devotional service. That means entire day you're absorbed in Krishna. Can you imagine? But you have to do it with that mindset. Consciously, you need to tell yourself, okay, I'm doing this for Krishna. Then whatever you're doing, that activity becomes spiritualized. It becomes Krishna conscious activity. Okay, that's all. When you do this, what happens? You become purified and you can reach Krishna, right? So who are the people who've reached Krishna? These are the 12 Mahajanas, right? They have undergone this bhakti process, right? Bhakti process, they have undergone it, they have performed bhakti, and they have attained that stage. They have all realized Krishna, right? So first is Brahma. Brahma is the creator, right? Next is Lord Shiva. He is Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambho. He is the greatest devotee of the Lord, right? Everybody introduces themselves by their name and their position. But you know how Shiva introduces? I'm a servitor of the Lord. That's how he introduces, right? So I'm a servant of the Lord. I don't even have my own identity. I stay in some, smashan, we say, smashan Rudra, right? He stays in some crematorium, puts ashes. I don't even have an identity. I don't even have a profession of my own. I don't have any possessions of my own, properties, money, nothing. All I am is a servant of my Lord Ram. That's it. He is Rama Bhakta. Okay, so he is realized Shiva, and then Shukadeva Goswami, and who is the propagator of Srimad Bhagavatam. How did Srimad Bhagavatam come to this world? Shukadeva Goswami is the one who brought it to the world. Then Prahlad Maharaj, we know about Prahlad Maharaj. Then Narada Muni, he is another great Mahajan, right? And Janaka Raj is Sita Devi's father, right? He is another one. And the Kumaras, 4 Kumaras we've seen, right? The 4 Kumaras you would have seen in a lot of photographs, right? They are just small 5-year-old boys, right? Who were created by Brahma. They took sannyas and they started becoming devotees, right? And then Kapila Muni is again Krishna's incarnation, right? And Swayambhuva Manu, there's a Manu, I told you there are 14 Manus. One of the Manus is Swayambhuva Manu, okay? And then Bhishma Dev, right? Bhishma Pitamaha, we know Bhishma Dev. And then Bali Maharaj, right? Bali Maharaj, during Vamana Lila, Bali Maharaj gave himself to Vamanadev. Then Yamaraj. Yamaraj is one of the greatest devotees again. So these 12 people have proved it. It's possible. So if we also take this process, we can see it from with our own eyes that results are coming, right? We can see the results. That's why Krishna says in the first shloka of this chapter, right? This imperishable science of Gita. Bhagavad Gita is a science. It's not theory. It's not story. It's not storytelling class. It's It's a science. And a science. When you study science in school, what do? You go to lab. The teachers will take you to the lab and they will make you conduct experiments and they will tell you, see what we learned in the class. You are able to prove it through the experiments, right? So what is science? Science is not theoretical. It is practical, right? Only when you start doing it can you get the results, and then you will be able to comment also. Oh, I did this never happened. That means you're going wrong somewhere, and your gurus will help you how to get back, get the result, right result, right? So bhakti or Krishna consciousness is a science. First we need to execute it or implement it in our life, then we will start seeing the results ourselves, right? So now I was talking about this, right? Between a difference between Krishna taking birth and we taking birth. So when we take birth, we are forced to take birth in a particular mother's womb, in a particular family, in a particular planet, right? We are forced. Why are we forced? Based on our karma, right? Because we are not gods, we are not God, right? So based on our karma, we are forced. If your karma is not up to the mark for you to take birth as a human in your next life, you are forced to take birth as an animal, right? Like we have law of karma, so we will see that in the next chapters or in the next slides. If you eat so much of non-veg, no, in this life, if you are addicted to non-vegetarian food, then Krishna will say, according to the law of karma, because you are so attached to non-veg, you take up a life, I mean janma of a body of a lion. You don't even have to cook non-veg. Just jump on the animals, eat flesh as much as you want, right? Raw flesh. You don't have to waste time cooking even, right? So according to your wishes, wills, desires, and your actions, right? Karma, law of karma will decide under the guidance of Krishna what body you're supposed to get in your next life, and then they will give you that kind of body, right? And so that's why we have lions. If there's any lion, that means previous janma, that soul wanted to eat a lot of non-veg, so that soul has taken birth as a lion. Okay, so yeah, so Krishna Atma Maya is right. So he comes in his spiritual body, right? Spiritual body. It's not material body. Ours is material body made of 5 elements, right? Earth, water, air, ether, uh, and all that, right? Fire. But his body is not made of those. So he doesn't have gross and subtle. You can see here, our body is the soul. We are the soul, right? But there are 2 other layers covering the soul. One is the gross material body, right? The skin, the organs, blood, and all that. That is gross body. Now, before and inside, all right, inside of this gross body is the subtle body, which is the mind, intelligence, and false ego. Okay, so inside of the subtle body is the soul. So this soul is packed with 2 layers, gross and subtle. Krishna doesn't have these 2 layers. That's the difference between us and him. He is directly the soul, right? He doesn't have these 2 layers. That's the difference. Okay. And our form is temporary because of this gross and material. The gross and subtle body dies, right? And then the soul goes and takes another body. But for Krishna, he doesn't have to do that. There's no transmigration. And Krishna is the controller of Maya, right? He's not forced to take birth in so and so species of animals or humans or whatever. But we are forced because we are under the control of karma, Maya, right? So we are controlled by Maya. So that is what is the difference between us and him. Ye yata mam prapadyante tam stataiva bachamyaham mama vartmanu vartante manusha sarva manusham partha sarvashaha. So what is he saying? How you surrender unto him, unto me. So Krishna is saying all of them, as they surrender unto me, I reward accordingly. If you consider Krishna to be your friend, right? And you worship him, you build a relationship with him like that, Krishna will reciprocate with you to your feelings like a friend, because you're considering him to be your friend. Rather, if you consider Krishna just to be a stone idol, he's just a stone, piece of stone in the temple, Krishna will reciprocate with you in the same way like a stone. He will not come when you call him, right? He will, when you need help, he will not come, because you are treating him just like a stone, right? So however you surrender to him, I reward accordingly, Krishna is saying, right? That's the difference between devotees and non-devotees. That's the difference between the 12 mahajans we just saw and we ourselves, because we are not reciprocating, I mean, we are not surrendering to him like that. For us, still Krishna is just one picture, something like that, right? We are not talking to him, we are not connecting, we are not having that relationship. Krishna says, to start having a relationship with me, start, with the name. When you, in schools especially, when you make friends, right? Say you're going to school, you want to make friends with your next person sitting next to you, right? What will you do? First thing is, what's your name? Right? You introduce yourself through your name, and then you start talking every day, and then you build one connection and you become friends, right? Same applies to Krishna also. Name, it all begins with the name. So chanting is the first step, right? So everyone follows my path in all respects, O son of Pratha. Directly or indirectly, we are all actually depending on Krishna, right? So non-devotees also get food, right? Who is giving them food? Krishna is only supposed to supply. So that's why I said directly, indirectly, we are all actually, paying obeisances, respects to Krishna. But devotees do it knowingly, non-devotees do it unknowingly. Okay. So here these are some of the relationships they have. A cow is also building a connection or relationship with Krishna, right? In Shant Bhav. And this is Balram. Balram is also, serving Krishna as a brother, as a friend, as a Gopa, right? So different devotees have different exchanges or relationships with the Lord. Here, as friends, all the devotees are serving Krishna, right? So you need to choose what you connect with. That's totally up to you. It's your internal heart, communication. How do you want to see Krishna, right? And start worshipping him in that way. And then when you have any problem, he will definitely help, right? But if we just say, oh, Krishna is God, just do this and come off, then he will also treat you like that only, right? Still, why people worship devatas? So this is another important concept. I might extend the class today. It's a vast topic, right? This chapter is vast. कांक्षन्ता कर्मणां सिद्धिं यजन्ता इह देवता क्षिप्रं हि मानुषा लोके सिद्धिर्भवति कर्मजः. So men in this world desire success in fruitive activities, and therefore they worship the demigods. Quickly, of course, men get results from fruitive work in this world. So now we know Krishna is the God. Krishna is the Lord. Then why should we worship demigods? Right? So demigods, example, all of them. Indra, Saraswati, Ma Durga, right? Lakshmi Mata. All of them are demigods. Okay. Now, when you know it's the God, the real God or the only God is Krishna, why are we worshipping other demigods? Devatas. Devatas means demigods, right? Ganesha and all of these people, right? These are all demigods. Why should we worship them? Any answers? Anybody? Is it right? Worship
Different gunas of different gods are demonstration of different guna of Krishna.
different guna of Krishna.
Yes.
Okay. So worshipping demigods is right or wrong? Anybody
It's
wants
right. It's right.
to? Okay. Who else?
There is no need to worship the demigods
Yeah.
because demigods get the gifts that we ask from the demigods have to get it from Krishna to give it to us. So instead of going through them, we can directly worship Krishna and get the same thing.
Haribol. Exactly. It's not a question of right or wrong. The point here is there is no need to worship the demigods. Right? So say Saraswati Mata, you're worshipping, right? You want a lot of education and you're worshipping Lakshmi Mata for a lot of money. Right? Where are they going to give you that education and money from? They're going to go and ask Krishna back. So Prabhupada says worshipping demigods means bribery, corruption, right? Say you want something from the chief minister, right? Some document to be signed, and what do? If you directly go to the chief minister, it's very troublesome. It takes lot of time, right? You are not even allowed to enter the compound gate of chief minister, right? So it is, you have to wait, and when you one day, if you get a chance to meet the chief minister, he will say, who are you? Go, right? He will not do your work. So what we do, we go through the PAs, the other cabinet ministers, whoever you know, right? The secretaries and all that, right? So what do? You start going through them, and they will give you. They will be like, oh, that's all. I know the chief minister very close to me and all. They will take your file, they get it signed, and they come back, right? Very easy, right? But you understand something. These people take money from you, right? The middlemen that you are going through take a lot of money from you, and they will not read the project well, whether you are doing something nice, something good. Is it going to help you? Is it no, is going to become a loss in future? Nothing they are going to read. Oh, they are getting money, they are so happy, they will take your file, they'll get it signed, and they'll come back, right? So Krishna is a father. Okay, so another example I'll give you. So say you're crying, you have lot of cough and cold, right? Fever, cough and cold, and you're crying for ice cream. Your parents will say no ice cream, first get well, right? But say some relative comes, your mama or someone comes, and you cry for ice cream, immediately the mama will go buy 2 to 3 ice creams and come and give you. Why? Lot of love, no? So they'll come and give you, but they don't think, oh, she's not well, he's not well, he has cold, cough, this ice cream will actually aggravate the fever. Nothing. If she's crying, I've given, I'm so happy now, that's it, right? Parents will think, oh, is it right, is it wrong, is it going to help, is it not going to help? And one more thing is fast results. Very quick you'll get the results. You want money, go worship Lakshmi. Every Friday you worship Lakshmi, you will get money, right? But that money is temporary. There are side effects also. And where do you get all this from? When Lakshmi Devi has to give you money, where is she going to get it from? She has to again go and request Krishna. Krishna is the supreme sanctioner. If he says okay, then she will get money from Krishna and she will give that to you. Okay, so instead of all the middleman business, go ask Krishna directly. And also one more thing I will tell you, there are 33 crores of demigods in the world. You want rain, you want proper food grains, you want money, you want education, you want health, you want so many things, right? Prosperity, blah blah blah, so many, it just goes on. Each of these things are taken care by a particular demigod, right? I can see in the chat Renuka Mataji has put the universal departments like Agni Dev, fire department is given to Agni Dev, rain department is given to Indra Dev, right? And ocean and water bodies department is given to Varuna Dev. So money department is given to Lakshmi Devi. Like this, all these demigods are actually cabinet ministers of Krishna. They are all handling the universal affairs. Okay, if you want something, you have to worship that particular demigod. If you're not worshipping Krishna, you have to worship that particular demigod to get it. If you want everything in life, Will you go and worship 33 crores of demigods? Entire day you'll be worshipping only. Right? Entire day you'll be worshipping only. 24 hours is also not enough to worship 33 crores of demigods. Right? Instead, worship one God, the only God, Krishna. Right? And when you worship Krishna, you know what happens? You might not get what you want suddenly, immediately. But when you get, it is permanent. Like Dhruva Maharaj. He wanted a kingdom which is greater than Brahma's kingdom. Right? So what he did, he went to the forest and he started offering prayers. He did tapasya and Krishna came, okay, Narayana came and gave him a planet which is imperishable, right? Imperishable, right? Dhruva planet, or Dhruva star, the pole star that you see, right, that we have in our galaxy, it is imperishable. The entire world will get perished one day when Brahma's life ends. But that Dhruva star will not get perished. Can you imagine? So when Krishna gives you something, he gives you something imperishable. Demigods cannot give you imperishable. They will give you temporary results because they themselves are not permanent. They also have lifespan. We just saw Brahma dies after 100 years of his age, right? All the demigods have a lifespan, right? They cannot give you something permanent. They can give you only temporary things. Yeah, they will give you faster, but what is the point? You will lose it immediately after some time. Otherwise, just by worshipping Lakshmi Devi once, you should have been settled in life. No, why we go again and again, give money, give money, give money? Because that is temporary what you're getting, right? But if you worship Krishna, he will think, okay, whether it's good for you, bad for you, whether you're going to get profits from this, whether you're going to get loss from this, and then he will analyze because he is your father. Okay, father will analyze properly and then give you something imperishable, right? And you can enjoy it for an eternity, right? And that is the whole point of worshipping Krishna alone. There is no need of worshipping the demigods. Okay, they are just devotees of the Lord. Consider them to be devotees of the Lord. So ISKCON says, so many people say, no, ISKCON says we shouldn't worship demigods. ISKCON is not saying anything, right? ISKCON did not write Bhagavad Gita. ISKCON did not write Srimad Bhagavatam. ISKCON is just promoting the teachings of Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. Okay? And in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, it's clearly said, no need to worship the demigods, matlab, not going and asking them, give me this, give me that, right? You worship them, give them respects without asking them anything. It's not that, okay, you see Shiva temple, oh, no, Shiva is just demigod, I won't worship. No, not like that. That is disrespecting. That's even Mahapapa, that is. Mahapapa, okay? You have to join your hands, right? Offer your respects, obeisances to all the demigods for that matter. And without asking them, ki, give me that, give me this, give me money, give me house. Without asking them, you can do whatever you want. Okay, you can even do a lot of worship, puja and all that, but do not ask them for any particular desire. Asking should always be for Krishna. Okay, so next, chaturvarnyam maya shrishtim guna karma vibhakashah tasya kartaram apimam vidya kartaram avyayam. So according to the three modes of material nature and the work ascribed to them, the four divisions of human society were created by me. And although I am the creator of the system, you should know that I am yet the non-doer, being unchangeable. So this is what we need to understand, the caste system, right? Caste system, what we are following right now is man-made. Krishna is clearly saying, Chaturvarnyam Maya Shrishtim. Yes, I only created caste system, but based on guna and karma. Guna, the qualities that you have, and the occupation you're doing. Not based on birth. Brahmana's son cannot become a Brahmana. Right? This is something we need to understand. Just because you've taken birth in that particular family, you cannot become a Vaishya or a Brahmana or whatever. It depends on your individual, personality. Right? Your guna, the qualities that you have, and the karma. If you have a lot of administrative qualities, authoritative qualities, right, then you will be called a kshatriya, although you are born in a brahmana's family, right? You'll be trained in that way. You will be choosing that kind of an occupation. Otherwise you'll not be comfortable doing a brahmana's duty, just sitting and doing puja rituals. You'll not be comfortable because you're always authoritative and you're administrative, right? So based on your guna and karma occupation, your caste should be decided, right? Not based on the birth. This is something we need to understand. So Krishna says, I created the caste system based on guna and karma, not on birth. Right? Although I'm the creator of the system, you should know that, yeah, although Krishna is the creator of the system, Krishna is not under any of such castes. It proves with his own life, right? He was born in a Kshatriya family, right? Vrindavan, and he took, I mean, his occupation was cow protection, that is Vaishya, right? Selling butter, selling a lot of crops and all that, right? That is Kshatriya business, right? Charioteer of Arjuna. So he's done all of it. Right? Later on, he became charioteer of Arjuna. That is Akshudra quality. So he's done all of it. In one life itself, he shows that to us, that he's done all of it. Right? Brahmana's duty, Kshatriya's duty, Vaishya's duty, and Shudra's duty. So Krishna is free from all the caste and everything. It doesn't apply to him. He made it, but it doesn't apply to him because he's transcendental. He's the leader. Namam karmani limpanti name karma pale spraha iti mam yo abhijanati karma bhirna samabhadyate. There's no work that affects me of action. One who understands this truth about me also does not become entangled in the fruitive reactions of work. We just saw, right, in Karma Yoga, we need to in this world. There is no, see, one who, he doesn't aspire for the fruits of your action. He is not hungry. He doesn't want your money, right? Chintamani Prakara Sadmashu Kalpa Vriksha. His entire Goloka is made of gemstones. Like how we use bricks over here to build buildings, right? Stones and bricks. There, people use gemstone to build buildings. Can you imagine? Gems and gold and diamonds and everything. Okay, so he doesn't want our money. He doesn't want our labor. He doesn't want our food, right? Then why should we do that? For us. It is for us to get purified of our karma. When you offer food which you cook to the Lord, right? Your karmas will be taken away through the food by Krishna, and you'll be free, right? So that way he is actually relieving us of all our sinful reactions. He's doing good to us. He doesn't want anything. So one who understands this truth also does not become entangled in the fruitive activities, right? This is something we need to understand. Okay, there are so many instances which shows that, right? So Krishna broke his vow to protect Arjuna. He went and he tried to defeat or kill Bhishma Dev, right? What is he going to gain? He is free from all the worldly. He had promised, actually he's not going to take weapon throughout the Kurukshetra war, but he still took weapon to protect his devotee. So Krishna is saying, to protect my devotees, I can even go above the morality and do things. And this is Sudama, right? When Sudama came to his house, what did Krishna do? Krishna washed the lotus feet of Sudama with tears, not with water, with tears, because he was so joyful to see his friend. Who is Krishna? He's God. He's king of Dwaraka, and he is becoming so submissive to his poor friend Sudama. Can you imagine? And is with two hands he's stretching for poha. Give me more poha. Give me more poha. Can you imagine? That is Krishna, right? You can win Krishna only by love, not with anything else. Only with love. Only with love. Only and only with love. Okay. Now a little bit of karma. Karmano hi api bodhavyam cha vikarmanah akarmanascha bodhavyam gahana karmano gatihi. So what is Krishna saying? Karma are of three types. Normal karma. Normal karma is, okay, I'll do something, I'll get results. Okay, I'm cooking food, or I'm working, I'll get salary. That is karma, normal transaction, action, reaction. The second kind, that is called vikarma, prohibited activities like eating non-veg, smoking, having illicit sex with opposite gender, right? All these, gambling, all these are prohibited activities. That's called vikarma. Okay, karma, vikarma. Next, third type is akarma. Akarma is doing devotional service. Okay, what is akarma? Fine, you're going to office, you're getting the salary, but because you're using your salary for Krishna, your that entire karma activity becomes akarma, it becomes nullified. Reaction you don't have to face. Got it? So it becomes devotional service. These are the three types, and if we are intelligent enough, we will choose akarma, right? And what happens to us? See, there is a person. Say, if there is a person who doesn't want to dress up well, okay. So law of karma says, okay, fine, you're not dressing up well, you become a tree, right? So tree means doesn't even have to wear dress. Okay, fine, you are still a living entity, but you don't have to wear dress, right? That's how law of karma works. Okay, so if you are always sleeping, so attached to sleeping, then law of karma says, okay, you become polar bear, right? Always sleep in Antarctica, right? Like that. So if you are always behind opposite sex in a illicit manner, right, outside your marital relationship, then Krishna will say you become a pig, right? Pig doesn't differentiate, right? Whatever it is, pig actually makes babies with its own family members, it seems. Even I didn't know, I learned it from the scriptures, right? So that's how pig is. So law of karma will say, okay, you become a pig, right? And so this way, law of karma has its own ways of working. We have to be very careful what we are going to choose. Okay, akarma is this, you're working in office, do it with a bhajan, play in the background. So not all jobs have include brain work, right? Even if you have lots of brain work, you get lunch break, you get breaks in the middle, right? You can chant, or you can listen to some Krishna katha, right? You can listen to a bhajan, you can listen to some kirtan, right? Or you can't do that, you eat prasadam in lunchtime, that also is Krishna seva, right? So do your duty every day with some kind of Krishnatizing it, right? Krishna is it, what you're doing. That becomes akarma. Example is Narada Muni. Whatever he does, wherever he goes, he keeps chanting Narayan, 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 right? Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadikshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattva darshinaha. So how do we learn all this? We learn all this from a guru, right? Even Krishna also accepted a guru. You can see in the picture. Krishna is Jagat Guru himself, but he also wanted to set an example to all of us, right? Otherwise, we will say, oh, Krishna did not accept. Why should I accept a guru? Right? So Krishna set an example by accepting a guru, that is Sandipani Muni. So we need to accept a guru. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master, right? Inquire from him submissively. How to learn from a spiritual master? Submissively. Okay, we need to render service unto him, some kind of service, right? If you go to college, you're learning from your teachers, right? You will learn submissively, right? You will not go shout at your teachers. Same thing applies here. And you render service, you pay the fees, right? You do something that they're asking you to do, some kind of things, right? So you render service unto him. Self-realized soul, because they are self-realized, they are seniors, they have seen the truth. Because they have seen the truth, they can also show you the truth, right? That's why we have to learn from Srila Prabhupada. He has seen the truth, and that's why he is able to show us the truth, right? So learn from his books, learn from his disciplic succession, and learn from his books. Attend these classes. These classes are like gold, right? Trust me, my life changed only because of these classes. Okay, so summary, a quick summary. So Krishna talks about the parampara system, disciplic succession, right? And then divine nature of Krishna, the birth of Krishna and everything, right? And then all the path leads to Krishna, right? Even if you take demigod's route, it's again going back to Krishna, right? Karma, vikarma, akarma, we just learned that also. Attaining jnana through yajna and jnana through guru, right? Tadvidhi pranipatena. Okay, any doubts, any questions? I'm sorry I extended the class. Yeah, any questions? No questions? Yes, Vishwas Prabhu?
Yeah, Mataji. So, this was a very interesting lesson today I had from you. But still, I have doubt about this taking birth, rebirth. I really can't believe it. I
You
can't.
can't believe it. As in,
Yeah.
what's
I
your
mean,
question?
for example, I mean, if 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 I do some bad things, I
Mm.
then I'll die, I'll become an animal or something else.
Mm.
Then how long and how many months I'll continue to be an animal?
Based on your karma, Prabhu, how many ever papa karmas you've done. Like for an example, I can give you. If you eat beef, right? Cow. If you kill a cow
Yeah.
and eat beef, the number of hair present on that cow's body, that many lifetimes you'll have to be in hell, in Kumbi Pakam. Okay, suffer the hell treatments for that many lifetimes. You will die in hell. Again, you take birth in hell. You will undergo that punishment for the number of hair present on that cow, right? Like this, different karma activities, they have different reactions, right? Eating beef is just one thing. You would have eaten beef 100 times in that particular life of yours. So 100 into that many hair you need to multiply, right? On different cows, how many ever cows you've eaten. So it's a large calculation. Only Krishna can do all that, right? So this is just a one activity. Whatever activity you do, you have equal and opposite reaction to face. And to face that reaction, you are again doing some activity. Okay, like for example, say you have done lots of punya and in this life you've taken birth as a billionaire. Okay, now so you're a billionaire, you're enjoying and all that. So you're enjoying matlab you're doing new actions, right? So each of your new actions will again create reactions. To face those reactions, you have to again come back to this material world. It's a vicious cycle. There is no end. There is no end. You cannot come out of it. If you have to come out of it, you have to stop doing generating reactions. You will do actions that you cannot stop, but you have to stop generating reactions. How do you do that? Only by akarma. Only by akarma. Okay, do your action, but nishkama karma yoga, do it for the Lord, then your action will not generate reaction. That means you've stopped your reaction cycle. That means when you get more and more seasoned in devotional service, after you leave the body, your soul doesn't go into another mother's womb, rather it goes back to Vaikuntha or Goloka and gets an eternal life there. Okay, did my question, did this answer?
Yeah, I mean, I understood. So
Hmm.
I could not believe it because the calculation is very complex. That's why it seems very
Yeah, calculation is very
yeah,
complex. That's why I
yeah.
told, with our tiny logical, material logical beyond our.
Lost voice.
No, depends on your individual. No, there is no limits as such. Depends on your individual pronunciation, pace, everything. Okay, you can take 10 minutes also to chant. There are Prabhupada videos where one round is 10 minutes, right? So you can take even 10 minutes. I'm not, what it feels that I'm not giving the love and bad karma is suffering of another person. When that person gets answers for his prayers, we suffer. What? I didn't understand. Huh?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Our actions are of various kinds, Mataji. We either torture our own self by intoxicating ourselves, by enjoying in the sense gratification through our senses. And another thing is that doing hurting someone else, some other living entity or living being, Mataji. So actions in both ways we have to suffer. So we get the reactions and the consequences very bad. So that is what I meant, Mataji.
Yeah, right. Very true. And also, not just that, today I was seeing Prabhupada's lecture Okay, so one person loves eating non-vegetarian food. Okay, so what he did, he was eating some chicken or something. Now we need to understand. Prabhupada was saying 6 people will get the equal share of punishment. The person who kills the animal. First, the person who gives permission to kill the animal, the person who kills the animal, the person who sells the animal, the person who cooks the animal, the person who serves the cooked dish, animal dish, and the person who eats the dish at the dining table. All these 6 people get the equal punishment. Okay, and not only that, in their next lives, right, next janmas, that animal who died, right, will become the human being and will kill the person, right? This person who ate it will become the animal, and next life the same thing happens, reverse. That animal becoming a human will kill this human who is turned into an animal. Can you imagine, right? So karma will not spare anybody. That's why we need to transform karma into akarma. Okay, Hare Krishna. Any questions? Any more questions? Otherwise we can end here. Okay, no more questions. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. Thank you all for joining. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Next chapter.